In an interview, they will ask you about all these three special level numbers. 66, it is used for renames purpose. 77, it is used for elementary variable declaration. And this 88 is used for
Condition name
name conditions. So if they are asking to elaborate on this, renames is used for virtual regrouping. Okay, and what is the things that you have? We should have the regrouping variables in sequence only, right? This is mandatory. Okay, elementary, you do not have anything. And when it comes to this, so if I'm asking you to elaborate, what you'll say? It is used for supplying, or you can say passing, or you can say providing. Anything you can use all the possible values, right, for a variable. So you have to remember this. And we have also understood about what is redefines. Redefines is nothing but it is reusing the same space or sharing the same space with multiple variables. And okay, please watch the class once again so that you will be clear on these two topics. Okay. And today we will be seeing the concept of subprograms. So what is the meaning of subprogram and how it will be used? So usually, let us consider the scenario. We are having outline perform, right? So you know what is outline perform means. We are writing the instructions or we are writing the statements in paragraphs, right? We're writing the statements in paragraphs and we are calling those paragraphs any number of time based on our requirement, right? We can call those paragraphs any number of times based on our requirement. So you are writing some set of instructions in one place and you are not repeating it many times, just you are calling it. So only writing is just one time, but you can reuse it any number of times, correct?
Yes, sir.
So, but this outline perform basically, suppose I'm having program A. Okay, so inside this program A, let us say I'm having a paragraph called 3100 display para, something like this I'm having inside this. So I'm having another program called program B. So here inside this program, right, inside this program A, I can perform this 3100 para any number of times, right? Now I'm having a different program called program B. Can I call this paragraph or can I perform 3100 para, which is there in program A? Can we perform it? Meaning inside your program, you do not have this 3100 para at all. You don't have, but you are saying perform 3100 para. Can you do that? It's a simple question, right? We don't have para inside that program and you're just performing it. So there is no 3100 inside program B. And if I'm saying perform 3100, will it execute?
No, sir.
See, this also you're having doubt or not simply answering. I'm having program B. Inside this, I'm having, let's say, 1000 para is there, 2000 para is there, 3000 para is there, all others are there. Okay, I can perform 1000 para, I can perform 2000 para, I can perform 3000 para. If I say perform 3100 para, which is not at all there inside this program, will it execute?
No, sir.
No, right? It is a straight answer. It is very clear. You don't have this paragraphs. These paragraphs are limited to that program, correct? Have we done till now? We did not do, right? One paragraph is limited to that particular program only. If inside that program, if you are writing hundreds of paragraphs also, that is fine. But you have to use within the same program. You cannot use outside because it won't come out and it will be used in the other program, right? I hope it is clear. So you're agreeing, correct? What I'm saying,
Yes, sir.
paragraph is limited to the program. This is the one statement that I'm making. And it is, I think it is clear to everyone. There is no more doubts, right? We cannot use a paragraph which is in one program. You cannot use it in another program. You have to use the paragraph within the same program. Or in other way, if I have to say, if you want to perform a paragraph in the program, you have to declare that paragraph in the program. If there is no name or if there is no paragraph with that name, it won't execute. It will say that it is just, it will say it will fail, like it, this paragraph not defined. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So now we'll come to a scenario that, so actually why we are using this paragraph concept to reuse, right? We don't want to write the code many times. We want it to reuse, correct?
Yes, sir.
So here, if suppose that particular piece of code is being useful in, let us say, many programs. Consider I'm having program A, program B, program C, program D, and program E. Let's say these many programs are there. In all these processes, in program A also, let us say, we'll take an example. We have one office is there. So inside this office, you will be having different departments. HR department, you will be having IT department, you will be having admin department, you will be having finance department, right? You will be having housekeeping department, you will be having many other things will be there. So what will happen? Each department will have their head, HR, IT, admin. So HR, officer will be there, IT officer, admin. So each department will be having their head of the departments. HODs will be there. So what is their duty? So they are having one processes. One process is there. So HR is having one process. IT is having one process. Admin is having one process. Finance is having different process, and housekeeping is having different process. So in all these processes, so when HR HOD here also, they will calculate the salary in the same process. Let us say in HR department, all others may be different, like calculation of their calculation of their loss of pays, or calculation of their their leave policy is different, or their other things. So based on their department, all their other details may change, but salary calculation is same for everyone. Consider this. Okay, so here HR may get monthly one leave, but IT may get monthly two leaves or something like that. Okay, similar kind of cases. So here HR may have some extra benefits, something like health insurance extra or something. Here email. So different other processes are there based on the department, but salary calculation is same for everyone. So the salary calculation process is same for everyone. Consider. So what this guy has done, HR process guy, he has developed a code, meaning he is using the code for his process. What his programs will do, he will do the health insurance. Meaning all the process, everything about HR process will be taken care by his programs. Okay. Inside that, he has also developed the code for calculating the salary also. Consider HR guy is having the process for calculating the salary also. Now this IT guy will have a program, admin guy will have a program, finance guy will have a program, and housekeeping guy will have a program. But these guys cannot go and use the code which is there inside his program. Right? This is different program, this is different program, this is different program, this is different. But there is a common piece of code for everyone, that is salary. So all other processes are different, but common thing in all the processes is salary calculation. Salary calculation, the way of calculating the salary is same for everyone. So what, instead of writing in they cannot actually, they can use this code, but here the process is they cannot go to the other program and get that code, right? Let us say he has written in a paragraph, and he cannot go back to his code or HR code and get the salary calculation code into his program. If the only way is this guy also write the same code in his program, here also he has to write, here also he has to write, here also he has to write. Let us say tomorrow, let's say your office is TCS. Tomorrow, TCS has changed their salary calculation process. Okay, TCS has changed their salary calculation process. So now, how many places we have to? HR guy also has to change his process. This guy has to change. This guy, right? Maybe here I have listed only 5 or 6 departments, 4 or 5 departments. But one company will have many departments, right? So everybody has to change their process. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
You following me? What
Yes,
I'm saying?
sir.
So to do this, if it is in a single program, you can do it in a paragraph. But if you want to use a piece of code across multiple programs, that means if suppose there is a code that you want to use it in many different programs, you don't want to write it many times, but let us say in 10 different programs, there is a program called, okay, there is a program called program X is there, and I want this meaning inside that I'm having some piece of code is there. That code should be used in 10 different programs, the same code. So what we will do, instead of writing it in a paragraph, we will write it in a subprogram. That means subprogram is again, we will put that in a place called subprogram. Subprogram, it is again a COBOL program which will have all divisions and everything will be same. Okay, it will be having all the approach will be same. Now what you can do, you will be having a, sorry,
కాపీ బుక్ కూడా అట్లనే పీస్ ఆఫ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ యూస్.
copybook is a layout of the file. Okay, this is the piece of code, that means it is the instructions which we are giving in the procedure division.
ఓకే
Copybook is just a list of variables, they are not doing any functionality.
ఓకే
Understood, right? It is just a file layout. Hope you're getting the difference, right? That is just a list of variables that you are using.
ఓకే
Okay, so let's say you're having some programs are there. Let's say one program X is there which is calculating your salary. So here you're having different program A is there. Let us say program HR, program finance, program IT, program housekeeping, program admin, like you have different programs are there. Okay, so now this guy also can call program X, this guy also can call program X, this guy also can call program X, because it is a separate place, just like copybook example. Copybook, you're keeping it in a different place and you're just using copy statement in any program, right? Just like that here, instead of copy, we use the statement called call. So there, for copybook inclusion, we have used copy statement. To call the subprogram, we use the statement call. Understood? So now the programs that are calling your program, the programs that are calling your common program is called as main program. This is one main program, 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 this is, and the program which is being called by other program is called subprogram. So this is your subprogram. That means if I'm having program A and inside that I'm calling program, let us say B. So program A is my main program, program B is my subprogram. Understanding? So if you ask, sir, will it be exactly same program A and B? No, meaning main and subprogram will look like exactly same. Means no, there is a minor differences are there that we will be discussing now. Okay, but program which is calling, we call it as main program. or calling program. The program which is being called, we call it as what?
Subprogram.
Subprogram, right? So calling program or main program, called program or subprogram. So this is the concept. So now we will see how to call a program. Let's say I'm having program. So let's consider these two examples, program A and program B. So program A is the main program. Understand? Program B is the subprogram. So now I'm going to call program B from program A. So how to call? So now consider your program A. So here you will have your identification division. Okay. Then you will have your program ID. So it is just a normal COBOL program. Okay. Main program is a normal COBOL program. So PGMA. Then you will have environment division. Then you will have data division. And inside this, you will have working storage section. If file you are using, you will have file section. So in the subprogram concept only, in tomorrow's class, we will learn about that updating the file. Okay. Today we will understand the concept of subprogram. Okay. Tomorrow we will, so we are left here, 1/4 program we left here, right? Did you remember? We have to update if the turnover is less than 3,500, we have to update it as rural. This we did not do it. We have done till here, correct?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So this one, we will be seeing it tomorrow using the concept of subprogram. Meaning you don't have to use the concept of subprogram also. You can do it directly also, but so we will take that as example. Okay. So that you will be understanding how to call the subprograms in a real time way. So, okay. Okay. So you will be having, this is confusing you. Okay. Here your working storage section is there. And let's say in your working storage section, you have variables like variable 1, variable 2, or this ws variable 1, ws variable 2, and you have ws variable 3, something like this. Let us say these are the variables you are having. And then coming to your procedure division, so here you may receive the values to these fields, or you may, move the values to these fields, or you may accept. Somehow you will get some data. So consider, let us say I want to calculate the salary. We are discussing program B will calculate the salary, right? So if program B has to calculate the salary, what all details I have to give to? So program B is having a format. Like if you give some inputs to that, it will calculate the salary and it will give you. Understand? So, something like if you're having, let's say, uh, some application form or something is there. If you fill the mandatory fields and click on print, it will give you the, it will automatically generate a PDF and it will give you, right? But you need to give some inputs to that, correct? Similarly, consider this main program is not calculating the salary, but it will, all the details will come to this main program only. After that, this main program wants to use this subprogram to calculate the salary. Okay, so normally consider about or forget about the concept of main program or subprogram. Normally, if I want to calculate the salary of a person, I need to give some details, right? Let us say WS number of days and some wage per day wage, and also some leaves or something. These are different details we will have to give so that it will be calculated, correct? If you give number of days per day, leave and all, so this program needs some inputs, right? Without simply if you call that program, it won't calculate, right? Because there will be thousands of employees. So you have to give the information of each employee so that it will calculate the salary of that particular employee and it will give you, right? So your second program needs the inputs from the main program, correct?
Yes, sir.
Right, you're understanding, right? So you, if you're calling a subprogram, means when you're calling, you will also send some information to that subprogram. So you will give some information to that subprogram and say using these details you calculate the salary and give me. That's what you are going to convey to your subprogram. So what your so this, it is simply like this main program will call this subprogram, meaning let us say it is calling via phone. Okay, it will say that, see, program B, I am sending you some details in a courier, or if I am sending you some details in some WhatsApp or somewhere. So use those details and calculate the salary and send me. Then it will disconnect the phone. Now this subprogram will come into picture. It will check the details and it will calculate the salary and it will send back the information. How it is happening, let's see. Okay, then it will call back and say, actually, you have given me details, I have calculated the salary, and I have also sent you the details. Okay, this is what it will. So this is the basic conversation it is having. It is two ways. So if you're calling the subprogram, means it won't end there. Remember, again, it will come back to main program. Okay, if you're calling a subprogram, it will go execute the subprogram, it will come back. Just like your perform statement. If you're calling a perform paragraph, what it will do? It will go perform the paragraph and it will come back, right? The similar way, it will go execute the subprogram and it will come back. So here, let's say here you have got accept this, accept this, accept this, you have got some information. So now how we have to now call the subprogram using these details. So we have to use these details for calling the subprogram. So how you will call the subprogram? It is simple. Call your program name in single quotes, program B. Okay, now it will call the program B. If you're just using this statement, it will call the program B, but you are not sending any information. Simply you're calling. Okay, so you have to send some information or you have to use some information to call that. So how to call? Using, you have to give these variables using this, using the information from this, and this. And here you will, so it has to calculate the salary, right? So here you will also give WS salary, which is empty. You will not accept this. This will be simply empty. You will not accept anything here. So this salary will be calculated inside your subprogram. And here you will say also WS salary. This is not full stop, it is comma. So now you can ask, sir, if you're sending these three things, it is okay, valid, because this is having data, this is having data, this is having it. Why you're sending empty? Because this salary has to be calculated by program B, right? So anyway, it has to calculate and send. So why you're sending this is basically, so you are saying use this, and the calculated salary, you have to keep it here. So basically, you're giving what all the variables that are there inside this main program, so that subprogram will use the fields which are having data and it will calculate and keep the salary inside this. So how it is going to happen, we really see. Okay. One second. One second. Okay. So understood, right? So basically you're saying you will have to give the variables for to subprogram. What subprogram will do? It will use these variables. So if it is, so it will use this salary variable also to calculate. So it will basically use this WS salary so that it will calculate and it will keep it here. That is what is going to happen. And then here you will have your stop run, meaning you will just, after that you can display the salary and all. So what will happen? Immediately, as soon as it is seeing call program B, it will jump to program B, it will execute, and again it will come back to your main program. So here you will display that means when it is coming back, your salary will be automatically calculated because it went to program B and came back. That means salary already calculated. So you can display it. Now let's see how the program B will look like. So in your program B, it is again the same thing. Identification division. Okay, you will have program ID. Let's say this is your PGMB. Environment division, data division. So in your data division, now you will have one extra thing in your program B, which we have not seen till now. This is the new thing that you are going to see. So in your data division of your subprogram, okay, the data division of your subprogram, if anybody remembers, how many sections are there in data division?
3 sections, sir.
Yes,
File
sir.
section, working storage section, linkage section.
Linkage section, right? So we have not seen about linkage section till now, right? We know what is working storage section used for. We know what is file section used for. So in the subprogram, so why the linkage section is used is to receive the data from main program to subprogram. We use linkage section. So if I say I think I didn't write about linkage section. See, in the beginning days, we will use it at the time of subprograms, I told, okay? Okay, now coming here. So in your data division, we will be using linkage section. So this linkage section should be the replica of your working storage section of the main program. Understand? So linkage section should be exactly replica of your working storage section. The only thing, the variable name. So here, if you're having, let's say, pick x of 10, meaning I'm just randomly giving something. So don't think this are number of days, 9 of things. I'm just giving something like this. Okay. Some x of 5. Pick some x of 4 and the salary. Pick something like this. Okay. So this linkage section should be exactly the replica of your working storage section. That means you can have the variable names can be different. That means, let's say you have here all the linkage section variables we usually represent with ls. Just like working storage ws, here we'll ls number of days. So what will happen? You can have the different names, but you should maintain the same order. You should maintain the same picture clause. I mean, data type and length should be same. Variable names can be different. Okay. But you should maintain the same order, same number of variables. That means if suppose call using subprogram is having 5 variables or 4 variables, those 4, meaning in this order only, they must be present in the linkage section. Pick, let's say x of 10. So it should be exactly same of this thing. If you take this, so your linkage section should look like this. Instead of ws, you should be having ls. Okay. Now, what is the next change that you will be having? Your procedure division. Procedure division will not be simply a procedure division. Here, just like call program name using your working storage variables, in your subprogram, you will be having procedure name using your linkage section variables. So just, sorry. So in interview, they will ask you how to identify just by seeing the program, how to identify whether it is a subprogram or main program. So your main programs will not have procedure division using, but your subprograms will have. So your main program will simply be like this, just procedure division. It will not have anything, right? But in your subprograms, you will be having procedure division using linkage section variables. So in your main program, call using working storage section. In subprogram, procedure division using linkage section. See, here using is for call statement. Here using is for procedure division. Here using uses working storage variables. Here using uses linkage section variables. Okay. In main program, call using working storage variables. In subprogram, procedure division using linkage section variables. So now here, right, inside your procedure division, it will do all kind of let us say compute, for example, ls salary equal to, for example, let's say number of days into wage, ls no of days into ls wage. Okay, then okay, it is completed. Then let's say you have stop run. So now here is the most important part coming in. Basically, in your main program or in your subprogram, you will never move the data from WS to LS or LS to WS. But what will happen here is when you are calling, see, when you're saying call subprogram name using working storage variables, so it will come to your linkage section, meaning it will come to your procedure division of the subprogram. Sorry, it will come to the linkage section of your subprogram, and it will move automatically. Call program name using working storage variables. It will move one by one to your linkage section. So WS number of days will be automatically placed in LS number of days. WS wage will be automatically placed in LS wage. WS leaves will be automatically placed in LS leaves. WS salary will be automatically placed in LS salary. That means you don't have to move WS variables to LS variables. They both will be in sync. They both will be in contact. When you are saying call program B using working storage variables, immediately program B's linkage section will be alerted. It will just wake up and see some working storage variables are coming to me. So it will receive one by one, first to first, second to second, third to third, fourth to fourth move will happen. Basically here move is not happening. What will happen is internally this working storage variables will be redefined by this. It is just a redefines clause internally what is happening. So these two are basically sharing the same space. Okay, so that means that is the reason if you are moving something to your WS number of days will be directly reflected in LS number of days. If you're moving something to WS wage, that will be directly reflected in LS wage. Similarly, here if I calculate LS salary, so it will be reflected in WS salary also, right? Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Because they are redefined variables, both are. So this one-to-one redefines is happening. So this is the redefined variable of this is the redefined variable of this, like, okay. So if you're making any change here, it will reflect here. Similarly, after coming here in your subprogram, if you're making any change to your this variable, it will be reflected in your main program also. This in detail you will understand tomorrow. Okay, subprogram may take another 1 or 1.5 class. Okay, this is the important topic. Okay, so now after calculating LS salary, I am not basically moving this LS salary to WS salary. I'm just saying stop run. See, the stop run also not correct. I'll tell you. I'm just saying stop run so that it will just go back, or because LS salary means it is by default it is coming to WS salary only. Correct?
Sir.
So now in subprogram, the second thing about your subprogram is first you understood how to understand by seeing a program is main program or subprogram is by seeing linkage section. Second thing is by using procedure division using. And third thing, you will never have stop run in your subprogram. So what is stop run doing? It will stop the flow of the program. It should be the last executable statement of your program, correct? Stop run means it will stop it here. The control will not go back to the main program because it will end the process here. Understand? So subprogram will always have exit program. Instead of stop run, you will have this line, exit program. Understand? So never use stop run in your subprogram. If you're using stop run in your subprogram, control will be stopped here. But if you're using exit program, control will be sent back to the main program. Understood? Okay,
Yes,
we'll see
sir.
the
Yes, sir.
example now. Yeah. So for today, I'll show you one already existing example, and tomorrow we'll work on that file concept. July, there. So this is your main program. Okay. So what this main program is doing, as we discussed, same scenario, 01, WS employee ID 9 of 4, WS employee name X of 10, and you have employee work days, employee wage, employee leaves, and salary. Okay. So you're having these details. Now in your procedure division, so remember one thing, in this program, you're not calculating the salary. Basically, this program, what this program will do, so this program receives the employee details from user and calls the sub PGM1 to calculate salary. Okay. So this is what is happening. Now, okay, you have employee ID 904, employee name, then employee work days, employee wage, and leaves and salary. So here, if you see, employee ID we are accepting, employee name we are accepting, employee work days I am accepting, employee wage I am accepting, employee leaves also I am accepting, but I am not accepting the salary because salary we have to calculate, right? So the first display is in the main program. Then, so these are the details. Just after accepting, I'm printing them just to ensure, okay, these are the details we have received, and salary will be mostly blank. It will not have, so let's have it as here value zeros. Here also, we can have this for everything. Yeah. So value zeros, or you can have initial para, and there also you can do. So value spaces. Here also. This also. Okay. So now we have all value zeros. Well, now, so we have all value zeros only have given. Okay, this itself is blank. Okay. So now we have accepted so many these values. I have displayed it. After that, I'm having a display called display going to call subprogram. Why I have added these displays is to make you understand that, okay, where the control is. Okay, first this display will come. Okay, then these displays will come. Then this display going to call subprogram will come. If suppose this call statement is not going to call the subprogram, then after going to call the subprogram, this line should be displayed. If suppose between this and this, any other displays are coming from subprogram 1 means first it went to subprogram 1, there it executed and came back, right? If suppose after this particular line, if you are seeing immediately this line in the spool, that means this did not get executed. It did not go to subprogram 1. But after this line, you are seeing some other displays from this, and then you are seeing this means it went, it executed, and it came back, right?
Yes, sir.
So, okay, here I am saying going to call subprogram. Now, as I told you, call subpgm1 using your working storage variable. See here, salary is blank, but when it comes back, when the control comes back, this salary will be filled because here in subprogram it is getting calculated. But when you are going to call, or when you are calling this subpgm1, these are having values, but this is not having values. But when the control comes back, right, this also will be having the value. When the control comes back, your this thing also will be having the value. The salary also will have the value. Now, after that, I said control returned back to main program. So see here, the salary I did not calculate ever. After that, I'm simply giving this, I'm displaying the salary also. Before also, I'm having the salary display, right? Here also, we have displayed the salary before calling the subprogram. Here also, I've displayed the salary after calling the subprogram. Okay. So you will be understanding the difference. Here we have to have your, I'll explain you about go back as well. Don't worry. Okay. Now we have stop run here. So did you understand your main program? Let me explain the subprogram also. Main program understood.
Yes, sir.
So now we will come to the subprogram. Okay. So now if you see here, the main program. So in your main program, after accepting all the variables and then this display, you're saying call subprogram using these variables, right? So immediately your control will leave this main program. It won't care about this main program, and immediately it will go to this subpgm1. So from here, it will jump to this program. It will come to this program. This is your subprogram 1, identification division, program ID, environment division, data division. And forget about this working storage, because these variables, meaning your subprogram needs these variables. This is not the one that are coming from your main program. Okay, this is the linkage section. It should exactly match with your main program variable. So instead of ws, you will be having ls employee id, ls employee name, ls employee work days, ls employee wage. So there will be same number of variables which you are using in the using statement. These things should exactly match, okay, with their order and the data type. Order and the data type. So now here procedure division using your linkage section variables. So in main program, call using working storage section variables. In your subprogram, it is procedure division using your linkage section variables. Now here, okay, now I don't need all these things. Okay. So now here, my very first display is entered into subprogram. If suppose in my main program, after this going to call subprogram, if you're seeing directly this display, that means it did not call this program. But after going to call subprogram, if you are seeing what we discussed, this call statement will directly take the control to your subprogram. And if you're seeing entered into subprogram, this message after your this message, that means it went inside your subprogram, right? Okay. Now, so after coming, I have displayed all these ls variables, linkage section. So linkage section, we never moved any ws variables into linkage section, but automatically, as I said, your call using will be replaced with your procedure using. So all the call using order will come to this procedure division using order. So that's the reason we maintain working storage and linkage section variables in the same order, same data types. Variables can be different. If you can have the same variables also, see, when I'm saying you can have the same variables also, but in most of the real-time programs, you'll have different variables. That's why I have taken the example of different only, so that you will not be confused. Okay, so now as soon as it entered into your subprogram, I have displayed the values. So here it will, as usual, it will display the same whatever you have accepted, employee ID, employee name, because they are redefined variables. So whatever is there in ws employee ID will be there in LS employee ID. Whatever is there in WS employee work days will be there in LS employee. Similarly, so whatever is there in WS salary, it is 0 now. So here it will display 0 only. Now coming to this, here we are calculating the salary. See the salary calculation, actual work days. So how to get the actual work days? Let us say total work days is 30 and he has taken the leave for 5 days. So actual work days will be 30 minus 5, that is total work days minus leaves. So this actual work days will be 25. That's the reason these are the intermediate variables that we need in your subprogram for salary calculation. That is actual work days, salary before TDS and WS TDS. Okay, TDS means tax. Okay, okay. So here we have got the actual days. Now, how can I get the salary? Actual days into per day salary, right? If suppose per day it is 1,000 rupees. So 25 days he went to office. So 25 into 1,000, right? So this actual days into per day wage, that is 1,000. Now I have got the full month salary, but I did not deduct the tax yet. This is before deducting the tax, correct? This salary is before deducting the tax. We have calculated the full tax. So here I'm displaying salary before tax is this much. Now I have a calculation how much salary to deduct. So here I have, okay, if the salary is between 0 to 10,000, I don't want to deduct any tax. So what I'm doing, I'm as usual, meaning as it is, I'm moving the before tax to the total, meaning final salary. So there is no deduction. But if the salary is between 10,001 rupees to 25,000, I would like to deduct some 10%. So your tax WSTDS will be total salary into 0.1. That means 10 by 100. That is your 10%. So here you will get your tax. So now you got your full salary and the tax also. So how to get the actual salary? It is full salary minus your tax, right? This is your actual salary. This LS salary will directly be reflected in the main program, because in your main program you don't need all this salary before tax, what is the tax, all these things you don't need. You just need what is the salary amount. That's what you have to send to your main program. Your main program is not asking for what is the salary before tax, what is the tax amount, all these things. It is not required. It just need how much I have to pay to this guy. Okay, this amount it will pay. Okay, then if your salary is between 25,000 to 50,000, you're deducting 20%, and that after deduction you are moving to LS salary. And if it is other, that means greater than 50,000, you're deducting 30%. Okay, now I'm display that this is the tax amount, and salary after the deduction will be my LS salary. And here I will have exit program as I discussed. First we will start with exit program. So your subprogram will always have exit program. Okay, clear? Are we clear with main and subprograms?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here only one thing that you have to clearly remember is I am moving the data from LS to WS or WS to LS because of call using and procedure division using. They both link together, or they have a bond, that is redefined bond. They are sharing the same space. If you're moving something to LS, it will be moved to your WS. If you're moving something to WS, it will be moved to LS. Got it? So are we clear? Let's compile.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So when you're compiling, your compile order should be, how many programs we have to compile?
Leave one, sir.
Main program.
Sorry?
Main program.
No, how many programs we have? We have 2 programs, right? We have to compile 2 programs. See, if you're compiling main program alone, then your computer will not understand the subprogram, right? It is COBOL only again. So you have to generate the load modules for both the programs. Understand? But the order should be, first you have to compile the subprogram. Okay? Because if you compile the subprogram first, then when you're compiling the main program, already the subprogram load will be available. So when it is saying call subpgm1, it will come and connect with this load. Understood? So always compile this. If your program is having 3 or 4 subprograms, first compile all the subprograms, then compile the main program. Your compilation of main program should be at the last. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, this is correct, and now you have to compile your main program. Okay, so now my run JCL. So now tell me, in my run JCL, which program name I have to give?
Main program.
Main program, right? Because it is the main driver. Main program, if you give this program, internally it will go and call the subprogram. So here, what all we are accepting here, let's say employee ID, accept employee. See, in your subprogram, you are not accepting any values. This you are clear, right? There is no value accept or move, nothing is there, right? You're just saying procedure division using these. That's it, right? So in your employee ID, I'm giving 1111. Employee name, I'm giving Sunil. And then what else? Number of work days per day salary, leaves. Okay. So number of work days will give 30. Then wage, let's say I'm giving 1000. Leaves, let's say 5. That's it. These are the details we have to give. Salary, it will calculate, right? And now I'm submitting this. Enter, enter. So it is max is 0. Now let's go to our spool. Okay, here, let's see the 1 by 1 display. Okay, so first, let's come from here. What should be the first display in your spool? What should come?
In the main program.
In the main program. Okay, so this is your first display in the main program. After that, you are displaying all these variables, right? These things should come. So here it is WS employee ID is this, WS employee name is this, everything you have got. After that, what you have got? Going to call subprogram, correct? So let's see. Going to call subprogram. And after that, what you have? You're saying call subpgm1. So immediately your control will jump to this program. It will leave the main program. So as soon as it is seeing the call subprogram, it will jump to this subprogram. Now it will come here. Okay. So it came to here procedure division using this. Now which display? It is entered into the subprogram. That is the next display you will have. See here. What is there? Entered into the subprogram, right? So that means it left the main program. So as soon as it is seeing the call statement, it jump to your subprogram. Understanding?
Yes, sir.
So now I have displayed LS employee ID, LS employee name. See, all these details I have displayed, which I'm giving LS. See, they are exactly displaying the same values which you have in WS values, because these two are redefined variables. Understanding? Okay, then after this you have actual work days you're displaying. That is, what is the actual work days? 30 minus 5, right? How much? It is 25.
25.
So here is your actual work days, 25. Okay, then the total salary 25 into 1000 is your 25,000. Then because it is 25,000, how much it is? 10% you're going to deduct. So it is 2,500 is your tax amount. And salary after deduction, it is 22,500. Now, after that, what you're saying? You have said, okay, salary after deduction, it is 22,500. This is the last display of your subprogram. Remember, this is the last display of your subprogram, and then you have exit program. See, salary after deduction, this is the last display of your subprogram. Now, see what is there? Control return back to main programs. That means control, see, after this call statement, it is executing this one. That means it went to the subprogram, it executed, and it came back, right?
Yes, sir.
Understand?
Yes.
So control return back to main. So here it stopped, it went to subprogram, everything it executed, then came back to this line. Controlled, return back to your main program. And then you're displaying all the WS variables. See, when you're displaying the WS variables, WS salary also became 22,500. How? Because LS salary is 22,500. So this also became 22,500. Understood how the subprograms are working?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if by chance, if you are giving stop run here instead of exit program, what will happen?
Subprogram values are not going to main program.
Main program, right? So let's see.
Final execution values are not displayed, WS
Yeah.
values.
So let's compile this. Sorry, we have to compile two programs. Yeah. This is your subprogram. This is your main program. Okay. And this is your run JCL. Now completed. See what is there? Salary after deduction. It stopped here. It didn't display that control returned back to this. This part did not come, right? It stopped here only. Okay. You understood the difference between your stop run and exit program, right?
Yes, sir.
So you should never use stop run in your subprogram. It should be always exit program. Okay. So tomorrow we'll see some more. Actually, we have different calls. This is the introduction about subprograms basically, or the introduction about your call statements. So you will be having different type of calls. We have subprograms in different types. We have static call and we have dynamic call. And in both static and dynamic call, you have two things. One is call by reference and call by content. These things we see tomorrow. And again, in your dynamic call also, you will have these two things. Call by reference and call by contents. So these things you will understand tomorrow. So now you understood what is basic call statement and how it is calling the subprogram and how it is getting executed. Fine. So any questions before we wind up? Okay. Okay, then let's. Yes, please. Yes.
మెయిన్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో డిక్లేర్ చేయని వేరియబుల్స్ కూడా రిఫ్లెక్ట్ అవుతాయా సార్?
Main program లో
ఇప్పుడు యాక్చువల్ వర్క్ డేస్ అవి సబ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో డిక్లేర్ చేస్తాను కదా.
అవును, అవి మెయిన్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ కి రావు. నేను అదే చెప్పాను. మీరు కాల్ యూజింగ్, ప్రొసీజర్ డివిజన్ యూజింగ్, ఈ రెండు మాత్రమే సింక్ లో ఉంటాయి.
అంటే
కాల్
డిస్ప్లే చేస్తే డిస్ప్లే అయ్యింది కదా సార్.
డిస్ప్లే ఎక్కడ ఉన్నది? సబ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో కదా మెయిన్. సి
మనం కాల్ చేస్తున్నాం కదా సార్ మరి.
ఈ యాక్చువల్ వర్క్ డేస్ అనేవి ఇందులో ఉంది, రైట్? అండ్ నేను డిస్ప్లే చేసింది కూడా ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లోనే. డిస్ప్లే యాక్చువల్ మెయిన్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో వీటిని యూజ్ చేయలేం మనం.
మెయిన్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో రాయలేము సార్.
రాయలేము. మెయిన్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో మీరు మెయిన్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ కి పాస్ చేయగలిగిన డేటా ఓన్లీ అది లింకేజ్ సెక్షన్ లోనే ఉండాలి అండ్ అది ప్రొసీజర్ డివిజన్ యూజింగ్ లో ఉండాలి. ఇవి రెండు మాత్రమే సింక్ లో ఉంటాయి మెయిన్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ తో. సో మీరు ఏదైతే ఇక్కడ వర్కింగ్ స్టోరేజ్ లో ఇది మీకు కావాల్సిన ఎక్స్ట్రా ఫీల్డ్స్ ని ఇక్కడ డిక్లేర్ చేసుకున్నాడు. ఇవి ఓన్లీ ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ కే లిమిటెడ్. ఓకే. సో ఇవి ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ దాటి వెళ్ళలేవు. ఓన్లీ ఇవి మాత్రమే షేరింగ్ లో ఉన్నాయి. ఓకే. బికాస్ ఇక్కడ మీరు చూస్తే కాల్ యూజింగ్ అని ఇవి ఇచ్చారు. సో ఇవి మాత్రమే షేరింగ్ లో ఉంటాయి. ఓకే. ఎనీ అదర్ క్వశ్చన్? సో ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఇక్కడ వర్కింగ్ స్టోరేజ్ సెక్షన్ లో వేరే ఏమైనా ఎక్స్ట్రా వేరియబుల్స్ కావాల్సి ఇచ్చుకున్నారు అనుకోండి. ఇక్కడ సపోజ్ కొన్ని ఇచ్చారు, బట్ అవి కాల్ యూజింగ్ లో లేకపోతే అవి షేరింగ్ లో ఉండవు. వాటికి సబ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ సంబంధం ఉండదు. అవి పాస్ అవ్వవు అన్నమాట. ఓకే. సో యూజింగ్ అనేది బేసిక్ ఏంటంటే బాండ్ బిల్డ్ చేస్తుంది, రిలేషన్ బిల్డ్ చేస్తుంది. ఇక్కడ మెన్షన్ చేసిన వరకే షేరింగ్ లో ఉంటాయి, అంటే రీడిఫైన్స్ బాండ్ లో ఉంటాయి. ఓకే. ఎనీ క్వశ్చన్స్? ఎనీ అదర్? Okay. Yeah, thank you everyone. We'll connect tomorrow. We do not have class. So people are asking Saturday, Sunday we need for revision. So what I'm thinking, Saturday morning, can you guys attend so that it will look like Saturday evening also you'll not have, Sunday also you'll not have, because you use those 2 days for revision, like whatever you have discussed in this entire week. Since I'm not having class tomorrow, can I take the class on morning Saturday so that the it will look like the remaining 2 days are holidays for, or it's like for revision for you.
ఓకే
Okay, sir.
Okay, so Saturday's timings నేను చెప్తా mostly like కొంచెం 8 to 9 అలా చూద్దాం. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you everyone. We'll connect on Saturday. I'll update the timings tomorrow. Thank you everyone.